The two brothers and sisters from Holland will be played last because they said they're in the car and traveling. Let's see how we can do. And while they were recording, part of the recording's voice has gone because the whatever problem is. So we play part of it and then they can add to it. Can I ask in the background if we can share the video of the first person, please? We would like to see the process. We would like to see that the process starts with its own cycle, with its own process, and just listen to the lady.
Hello, I'm Anna. I live close to Salzburg. Before I came here, my goal was to meet my family, my real family, my home, which I don't know where it is, of course. And I wanted to find my purpose or why I'm here for in this life, because I still don't know, or I'm not sure. I've got a glimpse, but I don't know. And well, when I went into the first chair, let's say chair, there was energy coming from upwards into my head, and it flew into my hands, and yeah, there was a period of just flowing energy. Then it went into my stomach, and I felt like as if something was sorting inside my belly. Something was coming to peace. Then there was energy from upwards again, and then it went into my heart, and it was just peaceful. Okay, then there were some more physical experiences, but nothing special. Just a little bit of energy here and there, and some sensations. I don't know if it was in the second chair or in the third chair. They were less intense than the first one, but a symbol. No, excuse me, that's wrong. Well, I don't know. Maybe I mix it up. It doesn't matter. A symbol was coming into my mind. I've seen it before, but it was centered in my heart. It's a symbol made out of eight lying. How would you call it? Endless? Or eternity. It's eternity. Yeah, standing and lying and in different dimensions. And when it came together, then it started rotating, and the rotation created a tunnel of light or a column of light, maybe. And yeah, this was like the start for something. And I forgot to mention something else. When I was sitting in the first chair, there was a kind of a flash in my right eye, and I know that this is when I go to bed, this flash always comes, and it's it feels like a welcome from home, a warm welcome. Then I know, okay, I'm on the right place right now. And it always was at the beginning and then at the end of the session in the chair. I had that flash, that signal, kind of. Okay. I think I'm through with the 3 chairs because this was quite yeah, some more physical sensations, but quiet. Yeah. When I went into the real system, I was a little irritated because Mr. Cash went out and I didn't know if my journey had already started or not. And as he didn't come back, I thought I might as well start my journey myself. And when I went into that, I came to a place which felt like home. It was a beautiful forest. There was a wonderful fragrance and a lot of different flowers and colors and lights and glittering and whatever. Yeah, it is. And I couldn't really see the beings living there, but I felt them. And they surrounded me and I felt very welcome, and it was like as if they had arranged a party for me, or or kind of festival. I don't ein Fest in German. Okay. And I was brought into a very beautiful chamber, or I don't know I don't know how to express it. It was up above in the trees. And maybe I was expected to sleep there. I can't remember.
Did you have a physical form?
I'm not sure, but I guess yes. And I felt very light and very light and very easy. Okay. And there were moments when my mind wanted to interfere, and but I think I could rest it and go back to my heart, so the journey could go on.
And this was when you relaxed and you let go?
I'm not sure if I really relaxed. Yes, I did. But my mind was still interfering many times. Yeah, and then my husband was brought into the system. He was sitting in my back, and I was the captain. I was told to be the captain, to go on a journey with him as my passenger. And
Did you sense him? Did you feel his soul with you?
no, not really. Not really, I think. I'm not sure if I can distinguish between our journey as the two of us, and we did another journey with a second couple, friends of ours. No, I don't really know if it was one journey or if it was two journeys. I'm sorry. Well, but I was told by Mr. Cash to go on a journey and to take them with me, and I went. We went on to Venus, and I really liked it there because it was a nice place. We were welcome, and there were a lot of flowers and a lot of light, and we could turn into whatever we wanted, and I could fly. I was a butterfly, and the others could as well, as far I sensed them. I couldn't see them, I just sensed them. And we had a nice time there, just flying around and enjoying ourselves and the beings living there. And then I tried to bring them onto Jupiter, but I felt it was wrong. So we just made a little stopover, and then we went on to the sun. And there it was when I really felt there was so much love, pure love. And we just melted into this love. We were filled up with this love. And from there we went into something I know from other journeys. I was in a kind of my own bubble, like, what do you call it, soap bubbles?
Soap bubbles, yeah.
Soap bubbles? Yeah. And we all had our own soap bubble, and I always feel very, very really safe and secure, and that's where I really am. I am what I am. I am who I am in there. And the soap bubbles are kind of connected, but still free. And if I wanted to, I could move with my bubble wherever I want to go. And yeah, and then I felt we were done, just done. Yeah, and then we landed.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to add? Your intentions before you went into the unit, did you have any?
Yes, I wanted to meet my family, to see my real home, um, and I think all the elves, they were my family. I was a little bit irritated because they were not human. um, but still, it was okay. And I had the intention to know about my purpose in life and why I'm here. I don't know that by now, but I had, in one of the chairs, I had the impression that the box where this secret is in was unlocked. It has not opened yet, but it's unlocked in a way. I hope so. Thank you. Dankeschön.
Thank you very much. Now you can see when we tell you you're the captain, you decide. It's not in a dream, you're not in a drug, you haven't been done anything to. It's you who decides. And the very interesting part of bits of this when we listen, when we ask her about her husband, she says, I can't remember. I didn't see him. But later on, when it's the four of them, she says, they were together as a form. There were two couples known each other, and they went through the system together. System one is some people don't feel anything when they go in it because it's to balance the fields of the physical body of the man. Some people, when they go through it and they feel emotions of it or whatever, is when your physical side is balancing itself, preparing to become a passenger of universe. The second is for the soul of physicality, the energies which hold these bits of physical part together. And when it balanced, people don't want to sit. And then the third seat is a collection of the fields of the all of the cells. We call this whole control system. And whenever we talk to people, they go into the system and then they go back to chair number 3 and come out. They talk about the intensity be much less because now you have fulfilled part of the dream. Is what I call not a homeless. You have found peace with it. And the people who come for the second, third, and the fourth journeys, when they come, we see how they progress compared to the first. We're preparing humanity for the journey into deep space, where there's no cars. As she told you, she went to Mars, didn't want to be in Jupiter. She decided to go to the source, to the sun. We don't hear her burning, and we hear the fulfillment of the love, the giving, the knowledge received, the love which is received, given. She didn't ask for it. And this is the beauty of this system. And this is the first time, I'm sure, we're going to bring a number of knowledge seekers in to monitor this. I'm not going to be there all the time. We are there to see the perfection in the systems, and we are there to see the next step. And somebody told to me yesterday, you're a liar. We never lied. You lived a lie life all your life. We go through the facts, the structure, and what it is. And now it's you who decides this process. It's you who takes control. We try to not to force people to speak English because I don't know about German this session. We let Germans to speak. And we look at the next video. the lady is a shaman. She knows the travel of souls the way you know how it's done. We were not expecting much from her because she's an expert in soul travel. And what she told us when she came out, it was beautiful, not shocking, but beautiful. And what we heard, what we saw, is an amazing step in development of people who are aware of their souls. And this gives us people who can take much faster to the next step and next life. Would you like to play the second video, please? This is the lady, she speaks German. I hope our German translators can come online and translate for us. Can we have the sound, please?
Gegangen bin, wirklich meiner Seele die Führung zu überlassen, weil meine Seele wirklich am besten weiß, was für mich gerade ansteht und wichtig ist. Und
yeah, we can't hear the sound. It's too low, Mr. Kesh.
Yes, it was recorded very low with this one. Can you extend, can they increase it on the bass?
Und als ich dann auf den zweiten Stuhl gewechselt bin, da ist schon wesentlich mehr passiert. Da waren auch Emotionen, also ich hatte auch Tränen in den Augen. Da ist sehr viel ja, im Inneren passiert, wo ich gemerkt habe, da hat sich auch was gelöst. Und
Hello. I have to explain to you the noise she stops. We are under like a rocket propulsion base, and we have sun caps, or we call air gaps on the top. They automatically open and close. There's 6 of them that make this noise. So it literally buries the voice in the background. But this lady was told from the beginning, it's a very soft speaker. We'll have a problem to hear it, but it's good to hear it. Can you replay the game, please, from the beginning? And try to go to the maximum voice. Hello. We have a problem. Is there a problem with this video again?
Well, it hasn't started yet. There might be a glitch on the computer or something too, or perhaps they're adjusting the sound in the background.
Yep. Let's see. It was an amazing experience talking to this lady after she came out, knowing her expertise. Can you replay the video again?
ja, mein Intent heute war, als ich in die Unit gegangen bin, wirklich meiner Seele die Führung zu überlassen, weil meine Seele wirklich am besten weiß, was für mich gerade ansteht und wichtig ist. Und ja, auf dem ersten Stuhl, wo ich gesessen bin, war es wirklich relativ normal vom Gefühl. Ich habe ein bisschen die Energien gespürt, dass sich ein bisschen was ausgeglichen hat, aber es war noch relativ normal einfach vom Gefühl. Und als ich dann auf den zweiten Stuhl gewechselt bin, da ist schon wesentlich mehr passiert. Da waren auch Emotionen, also ich hatte auch Tränen in den Augen. Da ist sehr viel ja, im Inneren passiert, wo ich gemerkt habe, da hat sich auch was gelöst. Und hört man überhaupt noch? Okay. Und als ich dann auf den dritten Stuhl gewechselt bin, war einfach wie eine Reise, die schon angefangen hat. Und ich bin in die Erde hineingegangen. Das war aber nur ein ganz kurzer Moment. Und dann sind wir auf die andere Seite und dann hat es nochmal begonnen. Und als ich dann mit meinem Partner zusammen auf der Reise war, war es wirklich eine ganz wunderschöne Erfahrung, weil wir im All waren. Wir konnten beide fliegen und sind wirklich durch die ganzen Planeten und die Sterne. Und das war einfach so frei und alles war so weit. Und das war ein wunderschönes Gefühl auch der Gemeinschaft und dieser Verbundenheit von uns beiden. Und so eine riesengroße Leichtigkeit. Und als ich dann nochmal gewechselt bin auf einen anderen Stuhl und als meine Eltern dann dabei waren, war es wirklich so, dass ich versucht habe, sie mitzunehmen, dass sie auch fliegen. Das hat in der Rolle zumindest nicht funktioniert. Also ich habe ihnen erklären wollen, das war so wie so eine Treppe nach oben ins All. Und wollte sie darauf hinweisen, dass sie fliegen können. Also sie müssen nicht die Treppenstufen gehen, sondern sie können fliegen oder wirklich hunderte von Metern hüpfen. Und es hat dann so relativ schleppend funktioniert. Und ich bin dann halt einfach geflogen nebenher. Als ich mit meinem Freund ganz alleine auf der Reise nur war, waren wir im Meer. Also ich war eine Meerjungfrau, er ein Meermann. Und er ist aber nicht richtig mitgekommen. Also es war wie, als wenn wir an der Wasseroberfläche geblieben sind und ich ihn dauernd animieren wollte, mit runterzukommen, weil die Welt unten einfach so wunderschön ist und die einfach auch zu entdecken. Und als ich dann nochmal in eine andere Position gegangen bin, war es so, dass ich diese Reise fortgesetzt habe, einfach nur für mich und wirklich untergetaucht bin und wirklich wie Pirouetten gedreht habe, total frei war und diese Unterwasserwelt genossen habe. Also ich fühle mich dem Element Wasser sehr, sehr zugetan und das war für mich eine wunderschöne Erfahrung, auch durch das Fliegen als erstes und jetzt im Wasser, also auch mit den verschiedenen Elementen wirklich so verbunden zu sein und das so ganz, ganz tief eben auch zu spüren. Und manchmal war es manchmal war es wirklich wie, als wenn ich eben das Wasser spüre oder auch eben die Luft und diese ganzen Dinge. Genau. In der Unit selbst habe ich jetzt gar nicht so viel wahrgenommen. Das war eher wie ein Raum von der Kirche, wo ich drin saß. Und es war sehr ruhig und meditativ. Und ich saß einfach nur in der Mitte dieses ganz hohen und großen Raumes und habe einfach nur die Botschaft für mich bekommen, wie wichtig es ist, wirklich einfach nur zu sein und da zu sein. Und das war dann einfach sehr entspannt. Das andere war sehr abenteuerlich und das war sehr entspannt. Ja, und dann war ich noch auf einem Planeten mit roter Erde und Bäumen. Das sah aus eher wie so eine Kinderzeichnung, wie die Blätter so dran waren, wirklich so einzeln, wirklich nur an den Ästen, nicht wie wir es sonst hier von der Erde kennen. Und die Erde war zu heiß, also habe ich eine Gestaltwandlung gemacht, wo mein unterer Körper wirklich wie Tentakeln hatte, wo eine Flüssigkeit abgesondert wurde, die verdampft ist und so konnte ich über diese Erde laufen, weil das in unserem Körper gar nicht möglich gewesen wäre. Das habe ich auch sehr deutlich wahrgenommen. Genau. Ja, und als ich dann noch auf
Excuse me, Mr. Guest, should we get a German translation here or English translation?
Meine Seele jetzt erstmal reicht.
Germans have the same right. Let us listen to it and then we will get translated, if you allow it. We would try to go that way.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, can we have, can you stop the video, please? Can we have Mario, if he is there, in the German language, if he can translate for us, please? Or do we have any other Germans who can translate? Can you stop the voice on the recording, please, in the background?
Relativ normal vom Gefühl. Ich habe ein bisschen die Energien gespürt, dass sich ein bisschen was ausgeglichen hat, aber es war noch relativ normal einfach vom Gefühl. Und als ich dann auf den zweiten Stuhl gewechselt bin, passiert, da waren auch Emotionen.
Don't see Mario.
Do we have?
Steph has got a hand up.
Yeah, if you can translate for us, please.
Und
Yes, I can.
That's a chance.
It's a lot of, I try to remember, okay? It's finished?
okay.
Yes,
Und
could you
als ich dann auf den
translate?
dritten
Yes, I
Stuhl
can do.
gewechselt bin, war einfach
Can you stop
wie
the,
eine Reise,
Can
die
you
schon
stop the video,
angefangen hat.
please?
yes,
Just
Und
wait.
ich bin in die Erde hineingegangen. Das war aber nur ein ganz kurzer Moment. Und dann sind wir auf die andere Seite und dann hat es nochmal
so,
begonnen. Und als ich dann mit meinem Partner zusammen auf der Reise war, war es wirklich eine ganz wunderschöne Erfahrung, weil wir im All waren. Wir konnten beide fliegen und sind wirklich durch die ganzen Planeten und die Sterne. Und das war einfach so frei und alles war so weit. Und das war ein wunderschönes Gefühl auch der Gemeinschaft und dieser Verbundenheit von uns beiden. Und so eine riesengroße Leichtigkeit. Und als ich dann nochmal gewechselt bin,
They seem to be having trouble stopping the video.
war es
yes.
wirklich so,
So, okay,
dass,
because it's not so good to talk
Just wait for
over
a
her
second.
voice.
Wait
das
1
hat
second. Let
der
us
Rolle
see what we
zumindest
can do
noch
in
funktioniert.
Ja, ja, sure.
Also ich
the background.
bin
1
da
second,
No
gegangen und
problem.
es war
please.
so wie so eine Treppe nach oben ins
It's
All.
stop now. No, wait.
Wollte sie darauf hinweisen, dass sie fliegen können. Also sie müssen nicht die Treppenstufen gehen, sondern sie können fliegen oder wirklich hunderte von Metern hüpfen. Und das hat dann so relativ schleppend funktioniert. Und ich bin dann halt einfach geflogen nebenher. Als ich mit meinem Freund ganz alleine auf der Reise nur war, waren wir.
So, it stopped. Yes. Can I translate? Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I think it's appropriate to go ahead. I'm not sure, but Mr. Kesh said something about things in the background, but I think it's good to go ahead. Is that okay, Mr. Kesh?
Can you translate, please?
Yes, I can translate. Although I remember she said when she was at the first seat, she didn't feel so much, but on the second seat, she felt emotions. And then he flew with her friend through the universe, just flying both. And then she meets her parents, and they are not very, they're old and cannot walk, and they want to use the steps, but she said to them, please, we can fly. And they try to fly with her. And the other thing was, after that, she goes with her friend on a red, planet. And I remember that and after this, without her friend, then she had no legs because she couldn't move on the planet. She was like a octopus on the outer part, also on the down part of her legs, because it was too hot or it was not able to walk with legs, and so she told she's like an octopus on her legs. So that was the thing I remember, and then I think you repeat this session again. I don't know if something will go on. And she felt very emotional. She had, on the second seat, she felt tears, and on the first seat, not so much, but on the second, and then she goes with her friend flying through the universe, meeting her old parents, and they tried to use the steps, but she said, no, you can fly. And so they tried to fly, but it was not so able for her parents, I remember. After that, the red planet she told about was, there was something else with the red planet, I don't remember. And then after this, the planet where she had no legs, just this octopus legs under her, because she couldn't move on this stuff. That's what I remember. And very emotional, very emotional.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. Now we see Um, that's another sensation of flight, another condition of flight, another condition of and we see how things will take shape. And just 1 second, because they all, you see, go through the sensation of flight, but they decide to flight. They decide where to go. They decide in how to take steps, and they decide the emotion. You don't need to, and they are fully aware of the physical awareness that where they are. They're not put into something else. And the only thing we give them when they come out, if they want a bottle of water, because they're all very excited. They're very, very excited. They're very emotional. And I'm sure when these people come for the next or other sessions, they will go through deeper understanding, and then they can, the excitement of the first time goes out of the window, and they will come to the point of balance. They will come to the point of realization, and we are hoping some of the people will come for the next time, second, third time. When they go to these places, they bring us back souvenirs that physically we can see. The establishment of the two systems is that way, it will be that way, and fortunately, we have the knowledge to be able to materialize it. To, like the way you've seen, it took us years to establish, and you see one after one explain the same thing. So it's amazing how easily man could have taken different course in the world of knowledge and science from the beginning and listened to his soul, and we would not be in here with what we see. The matter state would have been another condition which we are aware of. As the other lady said, I could control it. I wanted to carry on with my journey. I didn't want the dimension of physicality to interfere. And now we see, for the first time, man has a choice. For the first time, man is entangled with the reality of his life, which is the dimension of the soul. I would like you to listen to the mother of the lady. She's a shaman too. And experience again is in German, then if you can translate for us afterwards.
Mein Name ist Ingrid Meise und ich erzähle jetzt mal, was ich gefühlt habe und was ich erlebt habe. Und zwar auf dem ersten Stuhl hat es erstmal ein bisschen gedauert, bis ich etwas gespürt habe. Und dann habe ich aber zum Schluss doch eine Harmonie gespürt. Und auf dem zweiten Stuhl, als ich dann gewechselt habe, habe ich meine Seele, die Seele von meiner Tochter und von meinem Mann gesehen, die sich in der Mitte getroffen haben, verbunden haben. Und die Farben waren, also zuerst die Seele mit meiner Tochter, meine Seele und von meiner Tochter. Die Verbindung war rosa und dann kam die Seele von meinem Mann dazu und die war richtig rot. Und
der Lebenspartner von meiner Tochter, der kam dann von der anderen Seite dazu und die Energie hat sich grün gezeigt.
Perhaps Steph can translate now.
Und habe dann
Oh, I thought
Yes,
it was
I
a
can.
break. I thought it was a break. I'm
She's
not
still
sure
going.
if it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
still
transmission.
going.
wieder hereinkam.
Yeah.
Da habe ich
Because
dann
now
so
I'm prepared.
wie so ein Schwall, also so ein Energieschwall durch den ganzen Körper gespürt. Und ja, und dann bin ich ja nochmal gewechselt in die Mitte, in dieses Raumschiff. Und da habe ich eigentlich nicht sehr viel gespürt. Und erst als ich dann wieder zurück bin auf den dritten Stuhl, da habe ich dann eine tiefe Traurigkeit empfunden, weil meine Seele hat sich mit der Seele von meinem Mann also verbunden und da habe ich eine tiefe Traurigkeit gespürt. Und da sind mir auch die Tränen gelaufen und ja, das hat eine Weile angehalten. Und dann habe ich aber gemerkt, wie es umgeschwenkt ist und auf einmal eine Stärke kam, die sich immer mehr aufgebaut hat. Und dann habe ich auch gemerkt, dass da eine Harmonie war und habe auch dann wieder gewechselt zum nächsten. Und da ging das auch erstmal noch weiter. Also diese Stärke wurde immer, also es wurde immer harmonischer. Und dann sind mir trotzdem noch die Tränen gelaufen, aber dann eben aus einem anderen Gefühl heraus. Eben auch, weil eben da jetzt, ja, so eine Ruhe war, so eine Entspannung auch. Und ja, also das war dann wirklich ein schönes Gefühl. Und der Herr Kesch hat mich noch gefragt, ob ich auf den Mond fliegen wollte. Und da habe ich gesagt, nein, das wollte ich nicht. Und das habe ich aber auch schon zu Hause gespürt. Also schon gestern, vorgestern wusste ich ganz genau, dass ich nicht zum Mond fliegen wollte oder irgendwo hin. Das war für mich also vorher schon klar. Und ich vermute mal, dann kann man das auch nicht, dann blockiert es eh. Und ja. Aber das andere war für mich jetzt wirklich auch, ich glaube, das werde ich erst merken in den nächsten Tagen, was da passiert ist. Aber es ist auf jeden Fall sehr, sehr viel passiert. Ja. Das.
Okay, translate.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, also on the first chair, she it had something. It was a time there was she's sitting, nothing happens, but then it happened something. She felt something, and then she moved to the second seat, and she feels the soul from her daughter, and they were they get together, her soul and the soul from the daughter, and they were connected, her soul and the daughter's soul, with a pink ribbon, and with her husband came to the toe, the ribbon become red, and then came the husband from the daughter from the side, and the ribbon moved green. So, and then she felt an energy through her body, and then she moved in the middle from the flight unit. There she don't feel so much. First, when she moved to the third seats, she felt sadness because of the soul with his husband. She wasn't. Yeah, she was sad because she felt the soul from her husband. Yeah, I don't know if. I don't remember if they were together. She felt something just because the soul, or if the soul had problems with her husband. I don't remember. Then she get to the. Oh my God, I cannot read it. Then she goes to the next, and she feels harmony. And by every change of the seat, she felt more harmony, but she always has tears in her eyes. Yeah, because of the quietness. And Hugo asked her if she wants to move to the moon, and she absolutely say no. She had thought of her last days, and she don't want to go to the moon or fly to the moon. And she said, she thought when she don't want to go there, it's not possible to go there. Yeah, that's all.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You see that is a full control. Oh, thank you very much for translating.
Yeah, sure.
Please stand by. I think
Yeah.
you might have another one. You might have to translate.
Sure.
Mr. Katja mentioned here that he had something that he could add to that translation as well. Do you want to hear that?
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Katja.
Yes, hello. From the daughter before, I had something. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yes, she told that she was on the ocean. She was a mermaid, and the partner was a merman. And they were on the top of the water, and she wants to go into the water, but the partner didn't want to go, and she tried to animate him, but he wouldn't. And later, she was alone on the ocean, and she
was with the whales.
She was in the water and enjoyed all the animals, and she makes some turns in the water, and she was happy because she likes a lot of water.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And in the first place, when she was half like octopus, she talks about, she told us that she was in another planet. She was another. And she took the trip to go. And don't forget, 4 of them were together when they captained what we call the spaceship of theirs. This shows that we cannot take everybody with us. They have the free will. Just because we are at the soul level, we respect what we translated to the language we understand. This is going to be an adventure for many of you. We don't put anything on your head. We don't put anything on your eyes. There is nothing given. It is allowing the expansion of the soul of the man to be free to travel the span of the universe. When you are at the level I am and you stand in these rooms, you see the expansion of the souls beyond the boundary of the building. We have a system which sits right behind the control panel. You see all of them, they say they go into the chair. There is another, what they call headset inside. They sit in it. It's very big. They can't touch it in a way. They're free inside. And behind it, there is a system. I usually turn this system out. And from the noise of it, transfer of the plasma, I understand how much they're at peace, how much they control. I was teaching one of our knowledge kids who's going to be in the room most of the time from now on, because he's part of the learning process of it to learn the effect of the fields. I see these fields between the soul and the system behind. And when they find peace, the system noise changes. The speed goes very high. The sound of like the speed of the fields go very high. And then when they're struggling, we see the speed of the fields go low. It's like they're breaking it, they're just stopping it because they have a problem with physicality. And when they come out, I already know everything I need to know about their struggle, how they went through it. And we see movement of field within the building and move out of the building. I'll teach this in the coming time to dollar seekers. That you see, like when you see a car coming to you, you see there's a car, somebody, your daughter runs to you, you know that's your daughter. You see the approach of the souls. And I see this in the room. It's like a daylight. Sometimes I can even describe the physicality they're touching to. Because you see that I've traveled the universe long enough. I see it's not that something suddenly a soul comes and stands next to you. You see the approach. They see your approach. She speaks about the colors. Go back to teachings long time ago. When I tell you that when you see the souls from the color, you know if they're danger or they're good or whatever. And this lady explicitly speaks about it. Go and find the teaching. That when you come to a soul, is it there to give or is it to take? And the colors she speaks about gives me a clear indication about the emotion underneath in the family. And we are not psychologists. We are man of the science of the universe. And I can read, I can understand how this family is structured because we listen to the father and to the mother. I know what's the position of the son-in-law, not talking about him at all. In the journey they took, what's the position of the girl, father to the girl, to the son-in-law, mother to the father, to the daughter, and the son-in-law. It's amazing how the colors cannot tell lies. And we hear many of you knowledge seekers as you go through the process, you'll explain this to us. This is the first time we have opened the work of the soul in the dimension of universe. And go back to book number 3, where I explain that different colors of the ganses, they don't mix. They stack up. We put a picture there. Ganses are energy fields, and the reflection of the energy shows what they are, why they have these colors. And now a lot of teachings we can put into practice. I told you I'd take you to space, but now it's like somebody's just got a car and goes for joyriding the first times. Then you learn to become pilot. You become the passengers. And I said to a couple of the knowledge seekers is once you settle with this, with the system, you will lock into the system, becomes your satellite. You don't need to come here anymore. Anywhere you go into universe, you're connected. You have a whatever you came here for to change. Whenever it changes a slightly that is not what you want, you come back. Now you have a mother, you have a source. Now you have a connection with what is going to gather to help to establish more. What is very strange in one of these, what you hear, they all want to go home. They all want to take that journey to go home. As I said many times before, if you have a cup and an orange, and you transfer the fields of that orange into the cup, with the right ganses, the oceans and what I call different part of the mixture of waters of this planet has become that cup for the souls of the universe to gather here to establish themselves as citizens in a dimension. That's why we don't recognize many of them, because They got the essence of life in the dimension of the fields of this planet. And this is why many of them want to go home. And we hear more and more about this as people come out. And then you understand, and I'll tell you, they are amongst us as friends. They are amongst us as citizens of the universe, and we are a village in that universe. Now, in a couple of what I call videos, you have unraveled a lot if you understand how we look at how we go about these things. And the desire of the man to be man of space, to go to another places and be like them, half octopus. Still, I want to have a connection where I came from. I still stay man. I'll go become a fish. And now, in the next processes, we ask you who are in the system, talk to us, explain to us, and take us what you see. Maybe our soul will join you, and then we see the same thing, we see the same fish, we see the same creatures in the universe. And as the lady said, I want to go home. And those also I saw, those green things, whatever, were my family. I'm home. We are not dealing with theory, we're dealing with the solid facts, people who go, and that's what I said to you, never ever question, because we have a lot to learn. Would you like to play the next video? And let us see what we learn more. This gentleman is, he'll tell you
Hello.
who he is, I will listen. Go ahead, please.
I am Barbu Constantin. I'm from Romania. I am president of Scientific Association Plasma Romania. We are supporters of Cash Foundation from many years, and I came here in Linz to apply for the new simulation test for the new enhancement spaceship unit. And I want to tell you about my experience. And first, it's about a new structure. We have three separate chairs that are available for us. And what I understand is each chair is set up with different structure. And for me, the first chair was not so intense, and I want to make this testimonial because in my history, last 5 years, I start to move to separate about my feeding alimentation, to not using a lot of solid food. And for this test, I not eat for 6 days, and I use only liquids and plasma and fields. And first chair for me is not so intense for me. I feel a good balance. Is a lot of fields in the room, and I feel very connected with these fields. I move in the next chair, and in the next chair was very intense for me. The sensation was my heart, my physical, my soul of physicality start to pumping, very intense for a few minutes. And after this, my soul started to moving and to connect with the fields, and was very easy to have this multidimensional experience in the second chair. And in the last chair was very slow for me, because was balanced by the second and the first chair, and was very intense for me, not so intense for me. And after this, I'm moving to about the structure, but you must have came here, and you're moving in this spaceship, to say, and For the first moment, I feel nothing. Was but nothing is you are connected with the fields, but nothing to so intense energy. And after few minutes, I start to connect with the soul of the spaceship, to say like this. And my intention was to create a connection with our DNA RNA from Romania, because I think I am the first representative here. I want to transfer all the knowledge and our DNA to the soul, to make a memory to this new entity, to make a memory with all the structure from Earth. And when Mr. Kesh came and say, okay, right now you are ready to travel, to go outside the Earth, and I feel I command to the unit to make these steps, and after this I feel a lot of entities around of us, and powerful entities, and my I would say your tears, yes, my tears start to cry. I start to crying, something like this, because it was very intense energy, and they are preparing me, and I need something like a bell, because it's so intense energy when I start to travel, and they tell me it's not important to go to the moon. They start to moving in our galaxy, I think so, or another galaxy. I start to travel with them, with our spacecraft, and I feel that we stop in some new structure, like a big ship, like a motherboard, and they put me in the room. In this room, they tell me some private information about me, about the technology of Mr. Kesh and everything, how we can apply more, how we can understand, because they start to send us more information, how to do many things with this technology, and with the soul of Mr. Kesh. And after this, they put me back in the spaceship. Again, I think we come back, because also I see a lot of movement around of me, and I come back because my time is finished. And what I want to tell you, the world, is to come here. We have 20 experience. It's a very intense experience. First, for me, was very intense. I think for everybody was different, but it's important here to one member of one community to come here, because we must to create this memory of the soul of the spaceship. And I think is good also for our brain structure and everything, this experience, because we are in the room with a lot of good fields. And for me, it was very intense. I want to come back, because I have another 19 experience to make, and I hope to have money for this, because it's not in Romania. It's not so so cheap.
Thank you for that. So do you feel that being disconnected from solid matter state food enabled you to travel further? Did you prepared yourself for this?
Yes.
That some knowledge seekers may not. So did you feel by preparing your body and going using plasmatic field interactions of the plasma waters enhanced this soul travel to a further destination?
They, in my communication with other entities, they tell me, yes, it's a step for us, and we need to go. If we want to travel with our soul, is more easy. Mm-hmm. This is very is more intense energy that for me, for example, I'm in the plasma, and other people start to eat some solid food, probably are not so intense. But I think this is the experience of the soul, and I recommend it for the people who came here to not eat one day or to not eat 2 days, only to drink some water to prepare the body, because when you are prepare the body, the soul take the command of your body, and it's more easy to have this experience in these different chairs.
Thank you for that. I think that explains something. So many I've spoken to a few people today, and they've all had very different experiences. And so it really, when you set the intention, and everybody's in a different position. We're all on the same path, but we're just in different positions on this journey. So it depends on your intention and where you would like to go.
We want to go in, but we are not prepared, and this is our intention, to prepare for the new step. And this is I think the new structure, and this simulation is to preparing us, because people came here to pay because they have money, but at the soul level maybe they are not in their mission to make this. They are preparing, yes, they are loving the technology, but they are not with this mission. Maybe they have other mission. But for my understanding is everybody can enjoy of this new thing. Is a new thing on planet, is a public, and I think many people have different experience with with these new systems.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing your experiences. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any last comments or wishes that you would like to give to the speak in Romanian? Tell our Romanian beautiful brothers and sisters.
We are not Romanians. We are not English or Austrian. Maybe my English is not perfect, but I want to tell all the souls, light souls, that are here, to start to support more in their countries the cash technology, because we are change a lot of things. We change us, and we change reality around of us, to have powers, to not have fear, and to be in the extremely good movement day by day, because everything is set up here. We are in the divine plan. Follow your plan, follow your mission, ask about your mission to your soul, and we'll see in the synchronicity everything is balanced. And this is beautiful, because we are in the synchronicity, everything is here, and let to be a little bit joy in your heart.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rick. Paavo is here in the attendees. If you want to bring him up and see how he feels some hours after he's been through the system, would you like to bring him up into the panel? Paavo, you're there?
You'll be able to talk there now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I can see him. Can you hear me, Paavo?
Yes, can you hear me, Mr. Kesh? Yes.
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 You've been through it good morning. You've been through this experiment some 12, 15 hours now. How does it feel now that you're out? Have you had could you share anything with us? Not what happened in the system since you left, since you're there.
I am, because I must balance my field after this experience was very intense. I sleep also in Linz. I'm in Linz right now. And yes, I confirm I am connected also with the simulation entity device or spacecraft. I don't know how you say, but yes, we are connected at the soul level. And I have, because I am in the plasma, I'm not eating for many days. And I have also a lot of energy, but last night I cannot sleep like a normal day before. And this is because I have a lot of energy. I feel a lot of, right now also I feel a lot of energy around of my head. And what I know is because my soul travel and communicate with universal beings, and they say they are working also, and we are connecting non-stop with this soul of the device, and this is the what I feel, the energy in my head and around of my head. But it's not something something pain or something. No, it's just the feelings. I don't know how to describe this. Is a energy. But I want to thank you to all the people behind of you, Mr. Kesh, who make possible this, because it's so impressive, this experience for us, for everybody, and I hope to came soon. And I want to ask, in how many periods we can apply for the next session? What is the time?
There is no time limit. We accommodate as people apply. Now we're receiving all reservation into August, September. People are just booking in to come in. And what I would like to ask you, something which puzzled me, when we have people, they take a long time from one seat to another. You are like a jumping jack. You're jumping from one seat to another, to another, to another. What was the reason for it?
I connected with the device, and I received, because I am an astral traveler at the soul level, and I receive a lot of information from your soul, also from I connected from your soul with the soul of the spaceship. Before with 2 days, because I follow some procedure from Universal Community, and I know they giving us some information to preparing us. And
not interested in that part. Why did you move so fast from, especially seat 1, which is the physicality?
My physicality test in the medicine is very healthy. I made 1 week ago the analyze, and I'm very healthy. I think.
No. Yeah, I understand. What made you to jump from one to the other so fast?
I not feel so intense, and I feel prepared for the next steps.
Okay. What was your emotion inside the system? First of all, as you've seen, there is no walls, nothing in. Everything transparent, it's open in these flight systems. We don't need to cage you to trouble you. What was your impression? What did you feel when you sat in the first time?
I feel a lot of joy and happy and good spams and intense energy, because also in the connection with other souls that are around of the system, I start crying, because it's so intense energy, and the physicality respond of this intense energy with my crying. But it's so intense, and we are not prepared. That I think we need more and more to came, because it's a step-by-step process. This, and we cannot keep all the energy that is in the system in the first time. And I feel a lot of joy. I stay with the smile in my face, in the system, and in all the travel. And when I go out from the system, also I feel a lot of happy, a lot of joys. But I cannot remember everything what's happened in the travel. Just little fragments of what is most important, probably, or important.
Would you do it again?
What?
I said, would you take another trip?
Yes, but my problem is to also the money. I'm
not talking about that. I'm talking about the emotion and the feeling. Would you take another trip?
Yes. So I wake up very early, and I'm connected with the device, and it's like because I have experience in this, I learn how to make this connection new, and jump. I jump today again. And when I see your message with this testimonials public, I feel very, very easy to connect with this device. Also, when I see the picture from this testimonials today, from the KFTV studio, also I connect it also with the picture.
As I said to other knowledge seekers who were there, you don't need to come to connect, and you confirm that. Once you establish the center, this becomes the dimension of direction. Well, it'll be interesting to ask you, because I know how sometimes you work in a different way. Tap into the system. There were Germans and Bulgarians and Austrians in the system. Try to see if you made a connection as they've been there. If you can extend the language of Germany or the emotion of the German feeling, how they feel, or the Bulgarians. And try to see if you can give them knowledge. You're the only one, or not the only one, you're one of the ones who went in. And as you said, you wanted to share and put all the DNA, RNA of the Romanians in the system. You were there to give. And with it, in the first few minutes, you felt nothing, was the time when you're delivering. Because you came with that intention. And in giving, you received what you wanted, a flight. The way you wanted. This is the reality about flight with the systems. You didn't come to take. One of the knowledge seekers came in to take the knowledge of universe, and he nearly walked out empty-handed. You went there to give, as a representative of Romanians, the knowledge of the Romanians, the DNA and RNA, as you said. And that's why the first minutes, in a way, you're delivering without you knowing. In return, you were, in a way, empty sack, so you got filled up. And this is the beauty of it. We had the same thing with the lady. She was there to give and took everybody to see the best she could show them. When they were not happy to watch, she says, okay, we go somewhere else. Because she was there to please. She was taken to the soul of the Creator, the Son. Does not need a professor or the rabbi or a priest trying to pretend to see to get to the Son. The lady made a trip unknowingly, and the fulfillment brings elevation of the soul. And we see this in the coming time, how this lady will, not abusing the love she received, to fulfill the rest of the mission of her life. Thank you very much, Bravo. It was nice to see, and we see how we come together.
It's very interesting because you tell about to connect with the Bulgarian and the German, because also I give the cup, I came with Gans, the cup of the universe, and I share with the Bulgarian and the German. Thank you, Mr. Kesh.
Yes, I know. One of them is with me. I don't know where I picked it up, but it's with me. We'll go back to them. I saw the vases you brought.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you keep that connection and build that connection to become strong enough. We go to the brother of the brother and sister. He is one of the most serenest people I've seen for a long time. Very young, but extremely deep-mannered, extremely serene, and very, very naturally control of life. And these are what we call the leaders of the future. People who will lead through the essence of knowledge. He said, university graduates from Netherlands, born in Holland, and you see a different dimension. It took a long time. I was worried if he's going to leave yesterday at all in any of the seats. He tested and tried every position of the what we call controls of his body, his arm, his what we have the handles they hold to keep connection, and it took a long time in the chair. But it's interesting how he came. He was a second person in. Then his sister joined, and then we had the couple joining them. And we tried being with the passengers together as a different people. I tried to connect the two, brother and sister, through the soul level. And then they're here. We called them in. I hope they're in a trip back to Netherlands. And they will tell us if we can get them online, if they raise their hand to allow Rick to bring them in. And the sister speaks in English. She has a good command of it. And then she wants to speak in Netherlands because it's her mother language. And let's go through this. If we can have the video of the brother first. And let's see what we hear. You hear me faint in the back because we didn't have the microphone. He was the first person came in. So he gets question asked and then he tries to answer.
First time, no, actually. My wish was to facilitate the understanding of the totality of all the souls, and to be in love and in peace and in completion. Yes, but I did not achieve it. We did. So we start with chair 1. We move into chair 1 and you start adjusting to the fields, to the new fields. And for me, this felt at the beginning very subtle, but with time, this becomes more apparent in your body and in your, especially in your brain. You feel the buzzing, the warmth, the presence of something like a heat, something like a pressure, but a very mild pressure. And at one point this resides, this subdues and becomes more constant and pleasant and not notable anymore. You become one with the feeling, and that's when I decided to move to the second chair. Directly with the second chair I felt more, again, a new pressure, a new source of adjusting to the fields. And this took a bit more time for me. It took more time because we needed more fields to be adjusted. And as time went on, as I felt more in balance and more in peace, with the second chair you feel more emotions. I felt more emotions going through me, but they were not out of control, they were just beautifully present. With the first chair this was not as much the case. And as the emotions start to have peace within me, I slowly start to get into a point of the balance again. and then I moved to the third chair. And when I moved to the third chair, this one is different again. The third chair was less. This time you're less present with your thoughts. Your thoughts have found more peace, and you start to think less, or you don't think anymore. Sometimes I did, and then I peacefully went into the emotion of peace again. With the third chair, you start. It's gradual. It becomes more and more. What is becoming more? The thing is the feeling of being connected with everything, but it's not the feeling. It's the filter is becoming less. That is making you not everything. It's like the sugar that melts. You become more within the fields. And the third chair did have a pretty strong, again, feeling in my brain of being there. And as I was asked to move to the big system, with the big system, I the big system, it it's the same as the third chair at the beginning. But slowly it's not you notice it's not actually not the same. But that was for me. Quickly actually within the first minute, in the first seconds you think it's not very different, but then you notice how it's different, and you notice how much more peace the system is willing to work with you. You feel it's not you do something and the system is doing so. You work together with the system. You become one with the system. And after that, it's so many things happened. So many things have as you move on and to become more friendly with the system, and you trust yourself or the fields again with the system more. That is when you start traveling easier and connecting with all that you were not really easily connecting before. To enter the souls of many people and many beautiful creatures, all the creation. And at one point, we it was complete. You feel it wasn't complete for me because you still know you can go further, but at one point you are at one stage that you go on and on and on, and it's at the completion stage. And that's when I slowly wanted to make a move to the third chair back after having traveled to some places. And this time when you go back to the third chair, that notion of completion, it's more faded again. It's there, but it's again faded. It's like 50%, but I can't say that. Of course, numbers don't really. And that slowly subdues even further. But you cannot remember it because it's not something to remember. It's you are. And to be in balance, you slowly find your new balance in the third chair again. And that's when I started interacting with my sister more. Actually, I shouldn't say started, but more consciously, more with the thought matter, started to do it again. And all I can say, one of my intentions was to go home, but really home. And this happened more when my sister was in the system. When I was giving more to my sister, I felt more at home. Even though I tried to give constantly to everyone, but it was easier to give to my sister all. And this feeling of home, it continued, but sometimes it also faded again. And with time, when I found a balance of peace, I went to the second chair. And this subduing was mostly the same with the second chair. So I'm not going to hold it much longer. I did feel the need for everyone to sign the World Peace Treaty. So I want to remind everyone, if you're watching. And that's when we got this beautiful mission reminder. We were supposed to go to the moon. So I should say that at one point, as another sir came in the room, I don't really remember my emotions too strongly because a lot was going on, but I did feel this balance. Excuse me. And then the lady came in, so we became 4 people, along with Sir Keshe, of course. And there is the balance again. I was at this point at the first chair, and we were reminded that we were supposed to go to the moon. So going to the moon is instant. But realizing that you've arrived is also a thing. Realizing the new environment that you're in. Realizing the emotions of all the souls that were already there. I should say that we love all the souls, and especially they already know. But at one point I did feel someone was abandoned. Someone felt abandoned. Maybe it was my inner me, but I don't know. But we did find peace together, and it was a beautiful journey. I invite everyone to find their beautiful selves and to join the peace, to share and give unconditionally. And I'm looking forward to the next steps that we make together. I think everyone is. I don't know what to say. I spoke a lot, so
Did you take one journey to the moon or two? Did you do it while you were in the system? Or did you go to the moon when we put you together so you're passengers?
now that you put it this way, I think I was already at the moon before. But as I said, it's realizing that you've arrived. No, not that I was constantly there, but I had been before during my own time before we were reminded of the mission. Yes, the big system. Yes. With the group, how is it with the group? It is, I have to say, when I was alone, I also felt the when you're in the third chair, you start feeling that your mind is bigger from the inside. That's maybe a funny way to put it, but yeah, it's just different. And when I was in the big system, the actual system, I should say maybe, then is when I felt that very deep connection with every single soul.
Can I ask you a question? Have you achieved what you came here for, or more than you thought?
A lot more. A lot more. At the same time, I did feel that there was still steps for me, but I have achieved what I came. What I didn't come to get anything, but to experience, to be part of what I want to be part of. If I can say anything, then I wanna wish everyone the very sincerest peace and love from me. And I think if I can feel it, then it's definitely from all the beautiful souls that are present in this building and that have worked so hard to make this happen. And no need to mention it, but of course to you, sir. But yes, and just please come join us with peace, and let's go home and be home together.
Thank you very much. I think it's nice to listen to the rest of this.
So, would you like to introduce yourself as in your first name?
Yes. Um, my name is Galip Imran Gedik. That's my given name by my parents. Beautiful parents, beautiful name.
And where do you reside? What's your nation? Where did you um, become born on planet Earth?
Yes, the transition happened on June 1998 in Amsterdam. Beautiful nation, beautiful people. It's a small country with a lot of people. And my parents, they came from Turkey. So they moved to Holland or the Netherlands. And so in a way, the Turkish spirit and the Dutch spirit have met, not just with me, but many more people. And it's beautiful to be part of this culture with many cultures. And that's what I've loved, to be in touch with so many cultures. And with my background, it's easier to appreciate the different ones, the different cultures, different people. I shouldn't say easier, just for me, I got used to it soon, early.
So, thank you so much for sharing your experience. Um, how do you feel? How do you feel in this moment right now?
How do I feel? Feelings. I feel endless and infinity and happy. Very happy as well.
Thank you for that. That's you've expressed and you've given a lot that people can hold on to and become aware of. Maybe what they will experience. Um, as Mr. Kesha said, and we all know, this journey is for each of us different. However, that connection that you found, that oneness, that you said that the souls, you sensed the souls, and you said that in one moment you said that you felt when you connected more with your sister, you felt that the connection then opened up to the others. Is that my understanding? Was that correct?
Yes, now that you put it that way, that's actually accurate. And it makes sense to me why. And connection to others. Others, yeah, it's a funny word. But yeah, I don't know how much to. It's definitely that I don't want to limit other people for their beautiful journeys and for their beautiful experiences and their additions to this knowledge and their participation to peace. And mine was just very simple. Yeah, I know that I would be it honored beyond what I can express if I can continue to be participate in this peace process.
Thank you very much. One last question. So your intention when you went in, your intention was to give to others, to give unconditionally from yourself to your sister or to the experience that you've just experienced. Um, so when we set the intention of giving, then the system locks with us or connects with us and gives us an experience of whatever our intention or our soul wishes to experience, to sense, to connect with.
Yeah, the system. I cannot speak for the system. I felt that the system really wants to work with you. Like the system really is like pushing you, or not pushing you, but like helping you along the way. And at one point, because you're physically interacting also with the system, the boundaries of your physicality slowly start to be less rigid, but that's not something to be worried about because it happens every night as well. The system wants to give with you and work with you for your intention. So if you try to do more on your own, or if you think you're alone, sometimes that's when you need to remind that you're not alone to yourself. And that's then you're again with the system working with you, I should say.
I said one last question, but now many questions come into my thoughts. So, did you sense? Did you with your senses, or was this on a soul level? Did you sense things through a soul level, or did you? Many knowledge seekers would like to know: did you sense lights, or did you sense motion, or did it just feel that you were just suddenly connected?
This changes as you, for me, as I moved on from the chairs. At the beginning, it felt to me as a just internal happening, internal journey. But as especially after the third chair, and when I was in the big system, you feel the winds, you feel the different sounds. There is a bit sound in the room, but the sounds of the sounds start to change, the smells start to change. You start to smell less, and then suddenly, for maybe a blink of a moment, a very different smell. I kept my eyes closed for most of the part. Actually, maybe I opened it once or twice, but as you move through the systems, the visions become a lot clearer as well. But not clearer, I should say, more you're more with peace with what you're seeing internally. You're more balanced with your vision. I shouldn't say it's like, for me, it wasn't like a movie playing inside. Not at all. But the vision was more correct with your understanding of what was happening. That's maybe the most accurate way of putting it for me.
You said something very interesting then. You said you felt the sound.
Yes. That's the way of putting it, actually. That's a good way of putting it. There's a lot of sounds already in the room. It's quiet. It's not a busy room, but some things make sound. And it kind of starts to fade away. So that's why I did not really think about how to put it in words yet. And I don't know if I was going to. But I'm, of course, yeah, that's that's it for now.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. That's wonderful. I know that many knowledge seekers will thank you very much for giving us the experiences, giving us your soul connection, and thank you so much for being present in this moment and helping humanity and giving us this sharing of the knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's an honor. I I'm just, yeah. I want to thank everyone. I felt everyone, and we're in this together.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Thank you as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much. He's here. Let's speak with him personally and then we go to the sister. Rick, could you please bring him in, or he is there? He can explain to us.
If he could put his hand up, or what's
He's
the
in
name again?
Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good day. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know where you are.
Yes, good morning still. We're in the mountains of Austria. Beautiful scenery, but if I fade away, I fell away a few times, so that you know that that's why.
Yes, I know you're traveling back to Holland. How do you feel today after being nearly 24 hours away and you've been through the system?
It's been fantastic, especially yesterday. It was still a bit intense. I had throughout, especially when people, I think when they entered, I started feeling the head pressure on the head again, and it was I asked Barbu later, did you enter this time? And he said yes, and I said, okay, yeah, we know. But that's been we've been handling this. It's been a positive feeling. It's been the soul. It's after, especially yesterday when I in the evening, you realize this is Earth again, and you find you start to find patterns in your life again, and how you go on with life and how you're going to integrate your experiences. I've been trying to simulate and try to do it again.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I
I
think
think
we
what
have a
it
fade
is,
out there.
yes, yeah, they're
Probably come
traveling
back.
through the mountains of Austria and the connections are not usually good. What we're going to do, we're going to listen to the sister. She speaks fairly trying to speak English, but because she's bilingual, she's born in Holland.
Tonight,
You
for
see,
things I said, it's just
yeah.
a beautiful
Can
help
I
that you have,
can
and
I
you'll
ask you a
establish the connection
question?
again. And with the
Can I ask you a question? You're going through the mountains. We hear you cut off. Can you join us in the tomorrow's morning teaching when you're in a stable position in Holland? If you could teach, come back and then we can talk properly without breaking up, and we can understand after 2 days what you went. Is it still the same?
Yes.
I think that'll be the best way to do it. Please make sure your sister is there. It was a pleasure to see you together and how you felt about each other. Part of the recording, you lost voice, so we don't have a voice on, but we have the video. And then you can explain, both of you, to us how you felt together in that room. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us in Austria. If you want to play the video of the sister, please, both in English and beautiful language of touch.
So you can start speaking whenever you'd like.
Should I introduce myself? Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Maryam. I'm 21 years old. Today was my first experience. It was very special because in first case when I came in, actually before I came in, I expected something. I know I shouldn't expect something, but like everyone will have an idea, like, okay, so it's like it's going to be like this or that, but when I came in, it was very different, and I sat on the chair and I felt a little bit pressure and some changings in my body, and it was I'm together with my brother, and we actually tried to connect with each other, and it was I felt the connection, and I think he also felt the connection. It was very special, and I think he yeah, that's it.
So you can start speaking whenever you'd like.
Should I introduce myself?
Please.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Maryam. I'm 21 years old. Today was my first experience. It was very special because in first case when I came in, actually before I came in, I expected something. Hallo allemaal, mijn naam is Maryam, ik ben 21 jaar oud. We zijn hier in Oostenrijk bij de eerste ervaring. Spaceship. Nou ja, het was heel bijzonder. Je hebt natuurlijk verschillende fases. Fase 1, stoel 1, stoel 2, stoel 3. En daarna kom je eigenlijk in de echte chair. En nou ja, je zit op een stoel en dan zit er zoiets om je heen. Ik voelde op een gegeven moment een beetje druk op mijn hoofd. Of hier eromheen, rondom mijn hoofd. En ja, je probeert je eigenlijk gewoon echt te focussen op je ziel en op het universum en de verbintenis daarvan. En nou ja, toen zat ik op een gegeven moment op de tweede stoel na 5 tot 10 minuten, zoiets. En dan probeer je weer gewoon te focussen op je ziel. En ja, toen voelde ik eigenlijk meer druk op de linkerkant van mijn lichaam. Vooral mijn benen. Het is niet echt pijn, maar je voelt wel iets. En het is opvallend. En op de derde stoel, dan ga je weer proberen te focussen met je ziel. En intussen tijd had ik heel veel andere gedachten. En dat is allemaal heel normaal, denk ik. En nou ja, op de derde stoel was dat vooral de linkerkant van mijn lichaam. En ook vooral mijn been. Dat ik een beetje druk voelde. En ja, een kleine steek, maar dat deed niet echt pijn. En nou ja, daar was ik dus ook klaar mee. Ongeveer 5 tot 10 minuten. Sommige duurden wat te langer. En op een gegeven moment voelde ik mezelf ook een beetje zweverig worden. Dus toen kwam ik uiteindelijk in de echte chair terecht. Ja, mijn broer die is er ook. En die zat toen ook in een van de 3 stoelen tegenover me. En ja, je probeert je gewoon echt heel erg te focussen op je ziel. En het universum en de verbintenis daarvan. En nou ja, mijn broer en ik hebben ook geprobeerd te connecten met elkaar. Onze zielen te connecten met elkaar. En alles om ons heen. En ik voelde wel echt connectie. Ik voelde gewoon de aanwezigheid van zijn ziel. En ik denk dat hij hetzelfde heeft gevoeld. We hebben elkaar nog niet gesproken, maar het was in ieder geval wel echt een hele bijzondere ervaring. En nou ja, ik heb niet echt... Ik heb ook het universum gezien, of tenminste eigenlijk planeten en de maan. Ik heb eigenlijk ook Mars gezien. Ik heb er niet op gelopen, maar ik ben er wel echt geweest met mijn ziel. En het is moeilijk om de hele tijd gefocust te blijven met je ziel en alles om je heen. Maar als het een paar keer lukt, dan, tenminste bij mezelf, ik ben blij, ik ben tevreden. Dus ik heb er een goed gevoel over gehad. En ik ben nog steeds heel blij dat ik het heb gedaan. Ja, dat was het.
This is our first time speaking. Yes.
Yes.
Maybe it's interesting if we talk about, because you also talked about your experience. But I was already sitting when you came in the room. So I did feel you coming in the room. It was very subtle though, and as you started going through the systems and as you moved up through the systems, you were more and more present in my knowledge and experience. But at one point we were making more connection. What did you do and how did you? Because I can tell, I just started loving you more. That's what I did. That's what I did. But and then I just realized every time I tried to love you more, I imagined your face. Of course, it's like a QR code of yours, if you can. But so I tried to reduce this. I tried to, like, how can I not make it physical? How can I love you more, not physically? And that was a journey. That was adjustment needed as we moved on. So I wonder how it was for you.
Yeah. When I came in, you were already sat in the main chair, and in first case I was like, oh, what's he seeing or what's he thinking? But I also did felt the connection, and actually in the first chair I was more thinking of what am I going through and things I feel in my body. So I wasn't really focused on us, but the further I went to the second or third chair, um, and actually when I was in the main seat, you were in the third seat.
That was a strong.
Yes, that was very strong. I felt it like boom, and
But I wanted, like, you felt a lot of things, but not everything was your connection to me, of course.
no.
Do you think you can make a distinction? Do you, what's the difference between me moving from the third chair to the second chair? Do you remember that? Or do you even remember that I moved?
No, I didn't remember that you moved. I felt the strongest connection when I was in the main seat and you in the third seat. Like when you freshly came out of the main seat and went to the third seat, I felt a very strong connection, but I didn't remember that you went to the second.
Yes, we had to stop here, but this is where our sound system failed. But they carry on, and our man in charge doesn't realize the battery is run out, and he realizes later on, but it's already there. We hear from them tomorrow, but it's very interesting when you listen to these two. And as he says, extreme in Bompard, that we say it's just like that, you know, you go to the airport and say, now it's time to fly, you have to board. I walk in the room very gently and ask them, I would like you to take a flight. And he tells you instantly. Hopefully, it's in part of the recording. We don't have, he'll tell us tomorrow. He feels the presence of the sand of the moon. And they explain. This is what I told you, it's instantaneous. We don't need rocket propulsion. We don't need these tools of UFOs. The knowledge given to man is beyond understanding. But man is so like an innocent child that learns everything very fast. You can teach it 10 languages, you understand. And in the world of the knowledge of the universe, man is that infant. And as I said, instead of teaching to our children in schools and universities all the present physics and then going whatever you learn is wrong, now there's a new technology, let's teach them from the beginning, from day one. And you're in that position. You will not see a lot that a lot of other races throughout the universe have gone through to get just to understand a bit of what you understand. With all the problems, with all the physicality, the man has been through thousands and millions of years to be where it is, from a mouse in the hole when the dinosaurs were here to the man, the way he calls him the king. You're an infant. You're not literally born in the dimension of the knowledge of the universe. And it's easy to teach you because you're receptive. You can develop and learn new ways. But the little bits you learned in past millions of years has tarnished the beauty of the child, which is getting born. And we have to sort it out. It'll be sorted out. And now you see, you don't need aircrafts. You don't need nothing. If you can expand the soul of the man beyond the physicality of the man. As I said, these are systems. I stood in this room yesterday. It's a very strange talk and thoughts. And in a way, at the beginning, I explained to you, not very far from this exhibition center, not very far. It's a concentration camps of Nazi time. I walked into the gas chamber of this camp more than a year ago, around a year ago. And I felt the pain of the souls who've been through it. Not very far from this gas chamber is the Keshe Foundation Light Unit. Very soon we open these rooms in mass, not just one seat, where we give life to man to live the life of the universe. Still the same rooms, same brick and mortar from the same positions on this planet, same city. Most probably many of the people of the time of last century, Germans have passed through this land. They walked over this land. And now, same room gives life, gives pleasure after life in the universe. And maybe that was the end of the beginning for man, and this is the beginning of a new cycle in the same city, in the same condition. And I always had this horrible feeling. When you walk the streets of Belgium, always had this noise of German Nazi marching in the streets where I walked. That brought me a lot of pain. And now, by the chain of destiny, I'm in the home of where everything started. And we have brought life instead of death. A new life for man, a new life for the humanity from the same streets, same blood. It shows man can never be proud of his own blood or ashamed of his own blood, because it's the passage of time which brings us to that point. We have gone through the worst in this city, one of the most bombed cities in the world. A part of the city is still have bombed. We cannot go, even we are in Western Europe. And not very far, a new life, a new cycle, beginning of breakthrough for man to be born in a new dimension, in the same city. What we call the Phoenix effect, rising from the ashes, the beauty of new life. I wrote to the Iranian ambassador yesterday, and I said to him, we have to put what you have animosities about me aside, as our nation and our citizens are far more important than you and me. And this is the way we should feel. Coming together, coming to let's, coming to put this Wikipedia of the DNA, RNA, and cycle of life of the man in these machines is the beginning of evolution and revolution. Very soon you will not need Wikipedia. Very soon you do not need whatever, Facebook, because the face of the man is the soul of the man. You have access to all of it. You cannot hide your face. You cannot be one thing and the other. And we see the process. And I invite you to come. I invite the soul of you to come. Don't come by drip and drabs. We need to complete this cycle very fast. And as Paul said, I've come here to deposit the knowledge, the emotion, the language, the essence of the Romanian language nation. We have the Germans, we have the Austrians. We've seen the Bulgarians, as one of the very first ones to go through. And we see the whole essence of new knowledge. He said, going to move is instant. Going to farther is even much faster. If you know how to connect. And we're seeing one of us yesterday made that passage, but to her was the Son. But to what we know, the Son is the Creator. Then as I told you, you can be a king and travel the earth for thousands of years and hundreds of years and do what Moses did, kill as many as you can, but get nowhere, or be a plain housewife from Austria, Germany, and make that path in an instant. Maybe the Creator wanted to show us how easy you can reach, because the essence of the Son is the essence of the creation of the Creator. It's the essence of the soul of the man itself. We brought this podcast in today. I'm sure we're going to hear about it more tomorrow in the normal teaching time. But in a simple word, very, very simple word, we welcome human race to the true universal community. Now we have given you the tools to come to us, to come to you, and start the process of what we call gathering the knowledge of the universe to be embedded in the new, what I call RNA and DNA of the soul and physicality of the man. And I promise you, when I take you to universal community, I will not take you as subordinate, but equal. But the passage of time has brought us such a joy that we've given man more than equality, and in a way, a new status, a new position, as to be the humblest, to be there to teach knowledge of the Creator. Mankind soon will understand what gift you've been given, because once this knowledge is released and more of you understand how to do it, less of you are there to create the mayhem of the past, and sooner or later will too. Thank you for being here. And we'll take a small break and come back for a few minutes to answer some questions, and we call it a day. But we try to keep these regularly as we see interesting interviews of people who want to give interviews. You've seen 7 people out of 50. The others don't want to share, but they share with us what they have when they come out. We know the process. And sooner or later, we gather this information. Make your way to Liz to start the peace process, because then there is another bracket which I can tell you behind it. We request the members of the Universal Council to make your way to Austria. The new and the new to come, to go through the system, to understand the position one you have accepted. It's your duty and responsibility. As soul of the man has to be elevated to the soul levels of you as members of the Universal Council. We go for a break and we come back.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cash. Let me get my screen up here.